let me say good morning to our listeners and viewers of GBN Radio, Classic Radio, and GBN TV. Good morning to one and all. I hope everyone is doing A-OK this morning. It's Friday, and it's the 28th day of November 2025. Good morning to those of you also via our social media platforms, our Facebook page, YouTube channels. Good morning to you. Welcome. It's to the point. I'm your host, GT. I'll be with you until it's 10 a.m. this morning. And today being Friday, of course, is the final edition for this week of To The Point. Folks, would leave us to an open line edition this morning. We have no one popping in the studios this morning, so we open the lines for you listeners and viewers out there. Let's hear from you in terms of making your contribution this morning with issues that you would like to bring to the fore, concerns that you may have that you may like to speak about. Of course, let's do it in a timely and respectful manner. I beg of you to do that. May I remind you also, you have double the options of calling in via the WhatsApp and the direct line. If you would prefer, and maybe you don't want to, of course, make that phone call, you could always send a message via the WhatsApp. I have that already popped up before me that I will certainly read, of course, once the information is in a proper manner. I could say it that way. Let's go to the phone line and of course, see our first caller. Caller live, good morning, welcome. How are you doing this morning?
Morning, JT. Today is my birthday, my
Well,
friend.
happy birthday to you.
I'm only 26 years of age.
I am so happy that you have gotten to that age.
That's right. Anyway, I didn't talk about Vincent quickly, but I just want to thank the people of the constituency of South St. George and Tongue of St. George that supported the rally. And also I want, on behalf of Honorable Claudette and Honorable Andy Williams, and also the people in Guankai Hill, they now have a water tank, and they didn't used to have a water tank before. And Honorable Andy installed it, and on completion of the Southern St. George water supply project, their water will be flowing in their taps, and that's very good, because prior to that, and then they had the road done properly and everything. They used to have two shoes. You know the thing about the two shoes, and now all that is a thing of the past because he has improved the infrastructure. So kudos to Honorable Andy Williams, and all continue to support him. Now, JT, I listened to the election in St. Vincent. Well, I didn't listen 100%. And it is sad, because I think that when time for people to go, they probably is a nice thing if you bow out in grace than being defeated. Everybody. I don't believe in a term limit thing, right? But probably if you find that you have served enough, go out in grace instead of going out, I wouldn't say disgrace, in defeat. You see, the thing about it with politicians on the whole, people saying that they shouldn't say this and they shouldn't stay long. But the bottom line, if you are treating people, well, the bottom line is that you have to treat people with dignity, you have to treat people with fairness, you have to do what is right and always put people first. Once you don't put people first, and you always say him on the radio here talking about the same thing, that is why I always like Andy, Honorable Andy, the most popular politician. They say I'm boasting him too much. He's a man of the people. Politics is all about people, and whether it's NNP, NDC, MBPM, or whoever it is. And once you lose touch with the people, right, that is it. You always have to be fair to the people, and I always encourage people, go and contact your politicians, and I always tell the politicians, don't just know them around voting time. You always have to be in contact with the people. Always putting the people first. And once you put the people first, that is not a problem. But what you find generally with I don't know about good, I just talked about generally, that once they get there, they get a high horse, they get arrogant, they want to build up the empire and treat people with disrespect, and you see people in poverty and they're getting rich. And this must be a thing of the past. So I'm asking all persons concerned, all people that get into politics, always put people first, and the politicians do like Andy and Andy, always be among the people, keep abreast with the people, and always, you know what I mean? People, always make the politicians, make yourself accessible to the people, because it's the people that paying you, the people that give you the job, and the people who you are the servant. You're not because you're a minister, you are servant of the people, and just bear that in mind. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and have a great day, and enjoy your birthday today. 445-2041, 445-2041, that's the number. You have the opportunity to calling and share your views, your concerns here on today's edition of To The Point. We go back to the phone line. Let me say good morning to the caller. Caller, you're welcome. Good morning.
Yes, good morning, GT. How are you?
Doing great. How are you this morning?
Hello?
Yes, I'm doing great. How are you doing this morning, sir?
Hello?
Caller, you there? Good morning.
Hello?
Caller, you there? Good morning, caller. I think
Hello?
it's probably the callers have an issue on their end, because I think my system is running up and running well. I just had a previous caller who was hearing me A-OK, so it's probably on your end, sir. 435-2041, 435-2041. We go back to the phone line. Caller, you're live, and before you continue, whatever device you have in the background, may you have it turned off, please, before we continue. Sorry about that, caller. You may have to have that device turned off, and when you're ready to make that call and we can hear you properly, we could entertain your call. 435-2041, 435-2041. Caller, you're live. Good morning. Welcome. Caller, good morning. Good morning, caller. I don't think it's a problem on my end. I'm not sure. Caller, you're live.
Yes, I'm.
Yes.
You hearing me now?
Hearing you loud and clear. Go right ahead, please.
Right. I noticed something last Saturday on Melville Street.
Yes.
I want to preface it by saying that, a lot of attention has been given over the recent times about eating healthy and chronic diseases and the necessity to eat local, etc., and the foreign foods coming in with all the additives, etc. To get to the point, I noticed that before 7 o'clock last Saturday, people come from the country with their vans and by the seaside trying to sell their produce. Mm-hmm. And a policeman, together with one of the wardens, there's some cars parked on the side where the KFC and the petrol station is. And before 7 o'clock, yes, there's a little congestion, but there comes a policeman writing tickets. And I'm wondering, what does it make sense? I mean, the marketplace is already overcrowded, and people come in their vans and try to sell, to feed the nation with food that is going to help them prevent some chronic diseases. And before 7 o'clock, on a day when there is no school, etc., and there's a policeman writing tickets for people who just park to go across the street to actually pick up a few items. Now, the government had moved people from the National Stadium. They have not negotiated or come up with another alternative. And I believe there should be some kind of a dialogue with the populace, with the farmers, to find an alternative. If there's congestion there, to go back to the stadium or find a place where, the farmers could go and people can go, they can park, there's no congestion, but people have access to local foods. And I think that is a critical thing. I know that in St. David, there was an attempt, I'm not sure if it's still taking place, where people
Caller, if I may ask you, but do you think it's okay for the folks who are parking on the other side of the road, creating the obstruction, and you keep mentioning congestion, but you think it's okay? Could they find alternative parking and come to get their produce? Would you think that would have been okay for them to do so?
No, I would say yes, there is some concern because, yes, I know NIS opened their car park. But imagine someone wants to get some items. And who can, it's not everyone.
I understand, so, but most people here today prefer to park where it's for easy access. So they want to park there and cross the street, park there and go for we talk about it, and everyone is always concerned about the obstruction of parking in Grenada. So I understand what you're saying, but I still cannot agree with you in terms of folks just parking there because you think it's okay for them to go to the market.
People park there forever.
I understand, but it's still the practice could not continue. I would not agree with you with that, sir. Well, even though I understand where you're coming from.
The police can actually, if there is some congestion, right? It help in the free flow of traffic. But again, as I say, there should be a solution to this. Yes. If the solution is congestion, no parking there, so forth, so on, find a place whereby, and the stadium was a good place.
I would agree with you, so with that one.
And so again, as I say, find a solution. There is a problem, and we need to find a solution. That is basically the point I'm making, irrespective to whatever it is.
Appreciate your contributions. Have a good one. 445-2041, 445-2041. I understand where the caller is coming from, but if individual is allowed to continue to do that, you know what happens. And then we join a little bit closer to Christmas. Imagine Christmas Eve, and when so folks going to want to get their little Christmas produce and so forth, everyone wants to park there, and it becomes a problem. I understand, but I still think the practice should be curbed as early as possible. Caller, you're alive. Good morning and welcome.
GT, good morning.
Good morning. How are you this morning?
Not too well. How are you doing?
I am doing fine.
I want to wish you all the best for this season because it's on
Thank
again.
you.
I'm having the same problem here. You know, not as really long time before now, so my place cleaned up because last time I just send helpers to me, but no one's still in the bush. I have nowhere to walk. I could fall. I have to walk with my stick all the time to get out there. The things throwing me down. I don't have no help from this government. I don't understand why they don't go around and see what you need. I mean, agents people like me, look, I'm right now, GT.
So you have no one. You have no one to assist you in clearing that footpath or whatever you have. No one to do that.
No, I have no children, no grandchildren. If I had triple, I wouldn't look out for government. You know, I'd do my thing for myself. But government supposed to help the elderlies. Elderlies is people who look out for them first. See what they want, see where they live, and see how they're doing. But nobody's coming, nobody's calling, nobody's saying anything. Where am I living at somewhere in the bush? People, animals coming inside my house, rot all things, finding run with bush around me. On top of the house, they said a mango branch draw me on top. In the night, I fear. And I'm too old for that to have not want someone to help me. Only if I had my children around me, I would have get them to help me. But they're not here in the world because I didn't make any. What God give me a tongue God for the life, He gave me long life, health, and strength. And I'm here to take care of myself in the name of Jesus, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. For He's all I have to take care of me. When the day come, I call Him, I talk Him, listen to me. Wherever I go, He walks with me. Whatever I do, I put Him first. Because God is all I have in the world today. And the people in the world, the people, as you could see them and talk to them, they don't know if you're living or if you're dead. Because they don't just say,
all right.
How are you?
All right.
Nobody's saying morning.
Well, I hope you get some assistance before the weekends. Well, the week is already gets for then. I hope that someone is listening and will come and give you some assistance. Have a great day. All right.
Tell them something for me. Do something about it.
All right. I will try. Have a good morning, folks. We due for a break. Let's take it. We'll be right back. Don't touch it out. Stay with us. Classic Radio, GBN TV.
Megaforce Promotions, in proud collaboration with Ariza Credit Union and GBN, presents Grenada's biggest flea market at Monroe Plainfield, Saturday 21st and Sunday 22nd December, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily. Shop unbeatable deals on bed and curtain sets, appliances, household items, electrical and plumbing supplies, toys, Christmas decorations, clothing and shoes, perfumes and colognes, wines and drinks, and just about everything else. Plus a kids area, live entertainment, food and drink stalls. Want to be a vendor? Call 440-4646 to book your spot before they're all gone. Admission $5. 2 full days of deals and more deals. Shopping, fun and savings. Monroe's Plainfield Flea Market. Don't miss it.
Grenada! Get ready to celebrate culture, creativity, and community. It's the Kamahon Folk and Buy Local Festival happening on Friday, December 5th to Sunday, December 7th at the Sates Bus Terminal in St. Patrick. Friday, December 5th will be the opening night with prayers and worship. Then feel the rhythm ride with theater performances. On Saturday, December 6th, it's Market Day and cultural celebration in Sates. events. Come celebrate our roots with Asaraka. Sunday, December 7th. It's the grand finale. Folk celebration. We close the festival with pure culture, the rich traditions that makes us who we are. So mark your calendars. Friday, December 5th to Sunday, December 7th. Sotes Bus Terminal, Kamahan, Folk and Buy Local Festival. This event is brought to you by Ministry of Tourism, Creative Economy and Culture,
in partnership with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Trade and Export Development.
This Christmas, GBN is lighting up Grenada. From November the 10th to December the 24th, your festive season starts right here with GBN's Christmas Catalog 2025. Start your mornings with mid-morning magic. Weekdays 10 to 12, live fun, giveaways, and Christmas cheer every day. On Friday, December the 5th, the school's Christmas challenge lights up the Trade Center. 15 schools, 1 trophy, and the voices filled with holiday joy. Then on Saturday, December the 20th, it's Christmas in Kamahan. Live music, food, shopping, toy giveaway, and the grand tree lighting ceremony. And on Monday, December the 22nd, join GBN's Caroling in the City, spreading Christmas cheer all through St. George's. Every Sunday from 5 to 7, enjoy Yuletide Sundays with classic Christmas tunes and prices galore. And from December the 1st, K105's Lights of Christmas. Guess that hidden cash and win. So whether you're singing, shopping, or celebrating, do it with GBN, connecting with you this Christmas. Our partners making it possible: Flow, Ace Hardware, Foodland Supermarket, Grenada Duty Free, Answer Coating, Banfields, and Koyawa Beach Resort. GBN's Christmas Catalog, connecting you this season. We say welcome back, listeners, welcome back, viewers. Once again, it's to the point here on Classic Radio, GBN TV, for today, Friday, the 28th day of November 2025. Hey, folks, we're going to have, of course, a bit of a change in, of course, in the programming direction in this segment, folks. And we actually started off in the first segment there. We were having an open line, of course. We do have, I guess, popping in with us this morning, a bit of a last minute popping. So we're certainly going to go over and, of course, have a conversation. We do have, of course, representing, I could still say it like that, the movement. Mr. Andy Best representing the movement this morning. Let's go over to him and say, plus and good morning to him. Good morning to you, sir, and welcome. How are you doing this morning?
Good morning. I'm doing very fine today.
All right. Nice to have you. I certainly hope we have a better connection this morning in comparison to last week. And welcome back. Welcome once again. How are you doing this morning? How are you doing this morning? How are you doing this? Let's see if we can break that ice a little bit. How are you doing this morning?
Well, I'm doing very fine. And let me say good morning to Grenada, and specifically St. Patrick's West, all the citizens out there in St. Patrick's West. I hope you have a wonderful Friday.
All right.
It's black out here in Canada, but I'm not outside right now, as you can obviously see. But it's like 2 degrees Celsius, minus 2 degrees. It feels like -7.
Well, you know, there's a better place you could have been right now, and that's Grenada, right? So,
I know, right?
there's a much better place you could have been right now, and that's Grenada. Let's get into the conversation this morning. Mr. Andy Best, introduce yourself to me, sir, in a way that I would understand in terms of the direction and in terms of what you being part of the movement. Mr. Andy Best, tell me about Andy Best, the shortest bio that you can give about yourself, sir.
I have been trained to be a servant leader throughout my upbringing in church, in school. That is what I have been really trained to be. And I really came to realize that a couple of months ago, because I'm someone who is very adventurous, and I am really purpose driven. I have worked in our schools. I taught for 2 years. I worked as a tax collector and enforcement officer with the Ministry of Finance for over 25 years. I also run and operate my own driving school. And I have been someone that is community, oriented. I've been involved in sports, in community development, in the Pathfinder Club, you name it. And I always look out for people. I always find some way to do things differently from the ordinary person. And it's my pleasure to continue to work to solve the people of Grenada, Carriacou, and Peter Martinique. So in a nutshell, here I am.
So you have decided to, of course, be part of the movement. Give us a reason or reasons why you are, of course, decided to be part of the movement as a political organization as it stands right now.
Well, first of all, the movement, when I look at the movement and I speak with the leaders of the movement, I realize that their dreams, their philosophies, their plan for Grenada is in alignment with what I would like to see happening. As a matter of fact, if you look at the logo and the fundamental principles of the movement, you will see that it all ties in with unity. So, for example, you have 7 rays of the sun in the symbol, which represents, of course, the 7 parishes. And that alone tells that the focus of the movement is holistic. And I believe that the main pillar of the movement, which is unifying our people, is something that is really needed in Grenada right now. And I love that about the movement. They are not into, the name calling, the bashing, the tribalism. We are not into that. We are into unifying and nation development. And that is what really attracted me to the movement.
So I certainly agree with you, of course, direction or reasons why you decide to join the movement. So you as an individual, now you will, of course, you'll be the caretaker, and there's always that different definition in terms of caretaker, depending on the constituency that you intend to represent. What is it that you intend to bring differently from past representations of individuals who represented, per se, in a particular constituency that, of course, you intend to, if the opportunity comes around for you to run up for the movement, what difference would you be bringing across there, sir, to that particular constituency?
Of course, I will bring in servant leadership. And when you look at servant leadership, you must be with the current representative of the constituency. You have to understand that you must be honest with people. You must be real. You must be able to relate to people, and people must be able to relate to you. I told a community where we went once that they need to look at their representative as going into a relationship. If you as a young man, you're looking for a nice young lady, and you don't find out about that young lady, you might just find yourself in deep waters. And that's one of the things that our people has not been doing over the years. Someone walks into their community and say they want to represent them, and they come with some bright ideas, and that's it. They have no knowledge as to what kind of a person they used to be, or what kind of a person they are in their community, and so forth. And as you know, they will vote them into office and see what happens, and then they get disappointed. One of the common things you will always hear people saying, well, he win his seat now and he driving with his glass up. But if that was the individual before, then don't expect a change thereafter. So I said to them, you must find out about your representative. Do a background check and ensure that this individual is one that cares for people, one that looks out for the youth, one that, is interested in seeing development. We have to get away from trying to fill our pockets and understand that politics is about people's life. But that's what you go into that for, to serve people. So when you have that outlook, things are going to be different. And these are some of the things I am looking forward to bringing on the table. As a matter of fact, if you go around in my constituency, people will just tell you straight up, hey, this guy, he's on the ground. I mix with everybody. So we have to understand that the people need to be involved, and this is what we're going to be bringing. This is what I'm going to bring. There are certain developments that has the potential and it's not happening. We are going to bring those things right to the forefront.
I'm assuming that you have gone through the constituency, as you mentioned. You said you were someone who's always on the ground. You were communicating. What has been that feedback been for you, sir? Especially with folks within the constituency. What has that feedback been? Has it been positive? Has it been mixed feelings? Folks, there are different, political organizations in Grenada. No, you becoming a third. Your particular party is now becoming a third one. What has that feedback been for you thus far?
To be honest with you, you don't hear much about it's not going to work a third party in Grenada. The people on the ground, they don't speak like that. What you hear is what are you going to do differently? What can you do differently? Everybody does come and say the same thing, and when they go inside there, is a different story, right? You hear that, but generally speaking, the response that I have been getting is very positive. Persons are willing to support because they know my history. They know what I've been involved in. So, for example, the youth, they know that, hey, Bess is one that has been trying and has been striving to, get the youth to maximize on the talents and organize, opportunities for them. So the people know what I've been doing even before dreaming of going into politics.
Okay. You speak a whole lot about the youth and young people in general, and we know Grenada, as it stands right now, young people plays a pivotal role in terms of the overall, of course, the overall the makeup or dimension of this particular island of ours. What would you like to see as a young person? I think we do have a little bit of a disconnection there for a wee bit, so that could get rectified. Let's take a break. When we come back, we certainly will continue with that conversation with Bess. So Bess, we do for a break. Let's take it, because I saw you had a bit of a distraction there. Let's take a break, and when we come back, we'll get into the question I was asking. Let's take a break. We'll be right back. Don't touch it out, folks. Stay with us. To the Point Classic Radio, GBN TV.
Megaforce Promotions, in proud collaboration with Ariza Credit Union and GBN, presents Grenada's biggest flea market at Monroe's Plainfield, Saturday 21st and Sunday 22nd December, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily. Shop unbeatable deals on bed and curtain sets, appliances, household items, electrical and plumbing supplies, toys, Christmas decorations, clothing and shoes, perfumes and colognes, wines and drinks, and just about everything else. Plus a kids area, live entertainment, food and drink stalls. Want to be a vendor? Call 440-4646 to book your spot before they're all gone. Admission $5. 2 full days of deals and more deals. Shopping, fun and savings. Monroe's Plainfield Flea Market. Don't miss it.
This holiday season, let the Monica Benoit Wonderland of Lights lead the way to Christmas at the Point. Starting November 30th, the Quarantine Point Recreational Park transforms into a glowing wonderland with dazzling light displays that are the true showstoppers of the season. Take a magical tuk-tuk tunnel ride through twinkling arches. Explore Santa's grotto, cozy up with a picnic blanket under the stars, and savor delicious eats from local vendors. Entry is just $5 for walk-ins, $10 per carload, and $20 for premium carload parking. Plus, grab a cozy picnic blanket for only $40 and enjoy the season in style. Special pricing applies for New Year's Eve. Visit our Instagram or Facebook pages at Rotary Club of Grenada Events for more details. It's holiday fun for the entire family every night from 5 p.m. till midnight, and it all supports the charitable work of the Rotary Club of Grenada. Christmas at the Point. When the sun sets, the wonder begins. Mark your calendars. It all begins November 30th.
Welcome back, listeners. Welcome back to our viewers once again. Those of you by our social media platforms, good morning to you also, whether it's a Facebook page, YouTube channels, good morning to you. Welcome back. Let's say welcome back also to Mr. Andy Best with us this morning, representing the movement here on today's edition of To The Point. Mr. Best, good morning once again, and welcome back.
Thank you.
I before we got that interruption there a while ago, my question to you was, of course, pertaining to youth. Tell me about your vision for the youth in Grenada today. What's your vision for young people?
Well, first of all, we have to understand that our young people, they are not a problem to be solved, but they are part of the solution to our problem. And we have to understand that we need to create that space for them. We need to ensure that they can channel their energies and their skills in the right direction. So if you look at the amount of persons that will be graduating every year from school and the percentage that gets a job to do is very, very, very minimal. So we have to change our educational system in that of ensuring that our young people are being directed in the right path from the start. Too often we center so much on, the passing the 9, 10, 15 subjects, and at the end of the day, we don't see the importance of, the skill areas. I remember, while I was working in the Inland Revenue, there was a businessman who said that they were building a big complex and they needed some persons to lay tiles, and he couldn't find tile men in Grenada like that. He had to import those workers. So we need to ensure that we incorporate, that vocational skills into our schools. I mean, sad to say, there is a huge building in St. Patrick, and Montreach to be exact, that's supposed to be a vocational skill training school. And what is happening there, it's amazing to know that that's the name, but the reality on the ground is nowhere near what it's supposed to be. And our young men, our young women are just, left out. We want to ensure that Grenada find its true place in the sporting arena. For too long, we've been suffering, for want of a better word, in terms of the sportsmen and women we can actually develop into professionals. They're becoming millionaires. And the simple reason for this is we are not introducing the program that is needed. So, for example, it's time that Grenada gets an academy where we have, professional coaches coming into Grenada and, training our talented young men and women. We have so many raw talents in Grenada. It's not being utilized as it should. Coming up here in the diaspora, it's another means of focusing on our youth. As you know, the young only have influence like that on the young, unlike the adults will have on the young. And successful young people out here, they can mentor, a friend, a schoolmate, a family member back home. Let them know the importance of, being positive, staying focused. So we want our next gen in the diaspora to also be a part of developing our youthful resource in Grenada. Gone are the days when young people used to do community service or, just serve the elderlies. And, when I look back at my life, I have come to realize how important, being involved in serving others has an impact on your life in the end. And that's where servant leadership starts. So we need to get back our young people on that track, seeing the importance of serving. We also have to understand that we have to support our young investors, our young entrepreneurs. So, for example, we have the young man who has the science, who has the skills in let's say, dehydrating fruits. Why can't we, as a nation, ensure that those young persons can get the breakthrough by, giving them concession or giving them a grant, whereby they can bring in, they can import big machineries and open up, sizable factories where 50, 100 persons can get employed. Because, as you know, our fruits in Grenada, they are one of the most they are the most delicious fruits you can find on the earth. And most of the times they just go to waste. They don't have shelf life. But if we invest in our young people, these are some of the areas in which we are, talking about investment. Oftentimes we say we empower our young people by, giving them a 3-week course or a 3-month course. And at the end of the course, what do they get? A certificate in their hand. And they will walk home without no equipment for the skill they have been trained for. To me, that's not empowerment. That's just, going around in circles and just forming the fool, as far as I'm concerned. But when you go to a training session or seminar, whatever it is, for me, empowerment means at the end of my course, I should be going home with, some tools in my hands that I can start my individual business or do a cooperation with some of the person that would have been in the course with me and get the ball rolling. Too often times we just set up our young people. And I think that the whole outlook.
Oh, we seem to may have a lost connection there just a wee bit. Of course, Mr. Best, once again. Are you back with me, sir? Yeah, I think we lost you there for a wee bit. Yeah, I want to ask you this a wee bit. You spoke a lot about empowerment and the different way of life that you would like to see young people be in our nation today. And I'm sure there's a plan for you, to get that interest, to create that space for them to participate. And the challenge basically for young people today is getting their interest. Getting them their interest, getting them involved in what you would like to see, for a better Grenada. I'm not sure if you want to spill the beans on it this morning, but what are the plans for the movement yourself, sir, as a young individual yourself, to create that space that for young people to participate, get their interest, especially when it comes to nation building? What are those plans that the movement have in reference to that per se?
Well, I'll tell you one of the system that can and will work very well in developing our young people. Now, we cannot limit development to just the national geographic space. We have to look far and beyond. So, for example, I have a brother in the British Army. He holds a very high position in the British Army. And during the Kit Mitchell-led administration, we came up with a proposal to get our young men and young women off the street. We presented the proposal, and it was applauded, it was welcome, but that was all there was to it. And that plan, we still have it in the blueprint. It's a plan where we will get the government of the day to partnership with the Army. They will be responsible, in a nutshell, they will be responsible for taking care of the housing expense, and they will be responsible for paying a supervisor or two, because one of the problems is if you look to carry persons to England and they don't have family there, it is going to be a problem. And the Army will be responsible for training those young people who can acquire great skills, who can become professionals in different, fields. And of course, they can either come back and solve Grenada, or they can give their contribution from abroad. One of the things that is plaguing our young people in Grenada is the fact that they seem hopeless, not having, the opportunity to go after their dreams. Because if you are not able to fund yourself, it's like just a dream you're gonna have. So, for example, I'll tell you this: I run a foundation with a friend of mine, where we look for scholarships for young people to different universities in the US. And it is unheard of that one of our students out there right now, he left school with one subject, and he is making the dean's list in the University of Fort Kent right now. Right? Now, if that young man would have stayed in Grenada, his dream was just going to be a dream. Because, for example, he may not even get to go to TAMCC with one subject, but he's in the US now in a university with that one subject, because he has a skill in football that the coaches who came to Grenada would have seen and knew very well that, hey, this talent can go a very long way. And this is some of the plans that we have for our young people in the movement, and showing that we give them the opportunity that they deserve. Have different programs, partner with different organizations, different schools, different business places, so that they can develop on their true potential.
It may be said that, opportunities are available today. I don't think that there isn't opportunities available today, especially for young people. And it goes back to my previous question, as I mentioned, creating that interest for them to want to gravitate towards the opportunities that are available for them. How are we going to get their interest? Because it's going to be what they want to do, and it's not always what we present to them. You understand?
Yeah, but this is the difference with the movement, where we involve our people. So the movement will not just come, as the saying goes, you come with a pie out of the sky. It's community engagement. I can only assume what you need, what you like, what you want. But we have to understand, in order to get persons to where they need to be, to ensure that they are satisfied, you have to hear from them. You have to engage them. You have to let them be part and parcel of the whole development process. And this is what the movement is all about. Ensuring that the people are part of the process. You heard it said from our leader, there is a 75 national plan. And how much persons in Grenada knows about that? What is it all about? How much consultation were there? Unless the people is not involved, you will not be able to get them interested in the way that they need to be interested in whatever it is you're planning for them.
All right. We suddenly lost connection there once again, so let's take a break, and when we come back, we get into the final segment of today's program. Stay with us, folks. It's To The Point. Classic Radio, GBN TV. We'll be right back after the short break. Don't touch it out.
Megaforce Promotions, in proud collaboration with Ariza Credit Union and GBN, presents Grenada's biggest flea market at Monroe's Plainfield, Saturday 21st and Sunday 22nd December, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily. Shop unbeatable deals on bed and curtain sets, appliances, household items, electrical and plumbing supplies, toys, Christmas decorations, clothing and shoes, perfumes and colognes, wines and drinks, and just about everything else. Plus a kids area, live entertainment, food and drink stalls. Want to be a vendor? Call 440-4646 to book your spot before they're all gone. Admission $5. 2 full days of deals and more deals. Shopping, fun and savings. Monroe's Plainfield Flea Market. Don't miss it.
Since it's nice, we're doing it twice. Clock out and clock into courts. November 28th. It's Black Friday Reloaded.
Grenada Get Ready. GBN, the Ministry of Education, and the Division of Culture proudly presents Christmas Harmony 1.0, the inaugural primary school carol singing competition. Join us on Friday, December the 5th at 1 p.m. at the Grenada Trade Center. Magical voices, festive spirit, and exciting competition await. Tickets, adults $10, children $5. Christmas Harmony 1.0. No better place to be. Be there.
Soraya, I had a big news.
What news?
Kill the news.
No, I don't hear no news.
Girl, our school participating in the GBN carol singing competition.
For real?
For real, for real.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited.
Me too.
He gave me beauty for ashes, turned my life around. He broke my chains and now I dance on solid ground. For all he's done to save me, I will raise my voice. I've got Jesus, so I've got joy.
St. George's Seventh-day Adventist Primary School will be participating in the GBN Carol Singing Competition. Come on out and be a part as we support our boys and girls.
Grenada, get ready! GBN and the Ministry of Education presents Christmas Harmony 1.0, the inaugural primary school choir singing competition, December 5th, 1 p.m. The Grenada Trade Center. 15 schools, magical voices, and fierce competition. Cheer for your favorites in categories like Overall Champion, Most Creative, Best Solo, and Best Group. Entrance, adults $10, children $5. Don't miss the holiday magic. Christmas Harmony 1.0, where Grenada's brightest and youngest voices shine. Be there.
Welcome back, listeners. Welcome back, viewers. Once again, it's To The Point, Classic Radio, GBN TV. We have Mr. Andy Best representing V Movement this morning here on today's edition of To The Point. Mr. Best, welcome back. I hope you're there. We may have a little bit of connection issues as usual. Nice to have you back with us. All right. We have approximately just about 5 more minutes or so left on today's edition of To The Point. So I'm going to give that 5 minutes to our listeners and viewers. If they do have a question or two, we may not be able to accommodate as much callers as possible, but we will try our best to see how quick they can ask a question in terms of your response. So let's go to our first caller and say good morning. Caller, you're live. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Telesford. Greetings. Can your guest hear me? I want to guarantee that because
I assume he is able to hear you.
Very well. Let's go quickly to here. I must indeed say I'm extremely befuddled by some of the utterances of this goodly gentleman, with all due respect, but I say it as it is. His intentions for the future sound nice and so on. But I am concerned that if a new political party is entering into the political fray of this country, you have to come with something different. Which I've heard there for the time being is deja vu once again. The same thing. He speaks of his constituency. What's that, sir? He speaks of being a caretaker. What's that, sir? That's the same thing. But I'm not interested in that. I ask the following question. Can this gentleman tell me if he knows the number and year of the Constitution Act of Grenada, of the Independence Act of Grenada? And can he tell me the principal focus of Section 39 of the Imperial Order and Council of the Queen's Most Excellent Majesty by which we ruled? Subsection 1, what is the basic focus of it? I'll be grateful. These are the things I want to hear people talk who present themselves as leaders into the future of this country. I trust that you understood my question. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, caller. Thank you so much. Mr. Best, you want to respond to the caller?
Yes, I can definitely respond to the caller by saying to him, I can give him my number and I can indeed answer that question, because at the moment I do not have it off my hands, but I can surely find the answer to his question if he wishes to take my number, 536-8470, and we can have a chat on that.
Okay, all right. We do have another caller. Caller, you're live. Good morning. I'll be brief, please, caller. Caller via WhatsApp. Good morning.
All right, Mr. Benz, good morning. Mr. Benz, I've been listening to you, right? And then, in my opinion, all what is saying is what this present government been doing. You know, I already mentioned about for young people with the grant and all these things and them. There was a program run by Prince Britain with the same thing that you're talking about towards giving the loan and elevating youths. You understand? The government didn't give a loan, but the government gave a grant, and there was concession for bringing in machine and all these things. So basically, I want to know what your movement want to do different, because a lot of hearing is the same thing what NDC presently doing now. Okay, you made a statement about when you speak to the leaders of the movement. So can you tell us who is the leader of the movements that you're talking about? And also, I want to know, were you a member of NDC before, and then when Peter moved, you moved with Peter to NNP, and now you move with Peter to the movement. So it seems like you're just a follower. You guys don't really have like a foundation. You're just following from one end to the other end to be in leadership. Can you answer these three questions for me, please?
Thank you, caller. Let's get the response from of course, Mr. Best. Thank you, caller.
So, when I spoke of the leaders of the movement, I referred to Peter David and all the other persons, Dr. Bridgman, Derek James, who are involved in constructing the policies and the constitution and everything like that of the movement, along with other stakeholders. Now, I was not a part of NDC, if the caller wishes to know that. So I am not following Peter where he was to where he is now, right? As a matter of fact, I can tell you straight up, I've been part of the NNP government, of the NMP party. And it's not a matter of following Peter from where he was to where he is now or where he intends to go. But it all boils down to what Grenada is in need of at the moment. Hence the reason why I have decided to align myself with the movement, because the philosophies and the whole outlook of the movement is different. You may think it's the same, but I guess, we have to have more conversation for one to understand the change that we are bringing forward. Because, for example, you said that, yes, the government is training young people. I never deny that. But one of the things that I made mention of is how much out of those training programs persons can leave, go home, and start their business. How much of them will be able to get a grant or to get a loan? Because, mind you, those grants and those loans, they still come with conditions. You understand? And we need to change that. That's why I said it's like a game. You say you're coming up with empowerment, you train, and at the end of the day, where are those young persons? What they are doing with the knowledge? You understand? So it's time that we have to make it easier. Too much barriers they normally face when it comes to establishing businesses. We have to have a different relationship with the funding agencies, the banks, whosoever it is that is behind the program.
Okay.
So I do hope I have answered your question well.
All right. We do have another caller, which will be our final caller for the morning. Caller, you're live. Good morning and welcome.
Yes, good morning. Basically, what your guests been saying are some of the things the government are presently orchestrating. So I don't know if that person is in the sky or which part of the world they're living, but it seems that they're oblivious to the reality in terms of what is taking place in the vision of Grenada. And something I realized, if he was part and parcel of a political party under the leadership at the time of Keith Mitchell, it therefore means that he did not have that negotiating skill or influence to influence him. As we know how he was and still is, he still is the leader of the NNP, and people claim others, but he didn't have, and his other people did not have that skill to negotiate or influence or persuade people to do some of the stuff that he talks about. But look at now, we have an innovative prime minister, and they're doing well. Look at that. They're bringing down the unemployment rate by 7% over the last 3 years. They've been doing a lot of things for education. So this is credit that we should be giving and we should realize. So basically what that person's saying is basically regurgitating and repeating what this government is in process of doing. And as time goes on by, remember, they've just been in government for just 3.5 years. So just imagine the next maybe year and a half, much more that they will do in terms of the vision and the trajectory in which they're going now. And we know under the leadership of Deacon Mitchell, this Grenada will be advanced and go further. I think he should come on board and join with some of the ideas that he has. And you're welcome. Come on board and give us some of the ideas that you have. We're having ourselves a good day, but right for now, the government doing well. The unemployment rate, as we see, in terms of education, what they're doing with education, they're trying to make sure every student, at least every household in Grenada, get a university education, right? And all those stuff. I mean, we are so proud. Grenada is going forward. Have a good day.
Thank you, caller. Thank you so much. Thank you. That was our final caller for the morning. In terms of the reference, the comments that the caller made, Mr. Bessie, any response to that? And I would like some closing comments from you after that, sir.
Oh, well, I agree with some of the things that he said very well. The current government is pushing to do some of the things that I made mention of right now, right? But you see, the problem is you cannot go into government, or you cannot want to govern a country and you do not have a plan. You can't just be getting up in the morning and say, hey, that's a bright idea. Let's introduce it. No, you have to have a plan, your 6 months plan, your year plan, your year and a half, your 2.5 years plan, from 1 year to 5 years. And as you go in, you roll out your plan, you consult with the people, and you make sure that you are accountable to what the people ask you to do. Right? And this is where the movement is going to be different. We will be community-based oriented. You have to be able to have a plan and not just come up with something and say, okay, let's do this now. Right? The people must know what the plans are so that they can hold you accountable. And that's going to be one of the difference with the movement.
All right. Mr. Best, I want to say thank you very much for being on today's edition of To The Point. I certainly hope that we could have another interaction, soon. We can have another interaction. And best wishes goes out to you for the rest of the day, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Hey, folks, that's what we're going to take a wrap for today's edition of To The Point. Join me again on Monday of next week for another edition. Have a good one, folks. That's where we say goodbye.